On this episode of Table Scraps, Bobby and I talk about brand collaborations, who we want to work with, who we've already worked with, some of our dream stuff, some off-the-wall topics. It's a good one.
To remind you of the format, we're trying to keep this under 30 minutes. We have one camera that stops recording, so we're using that as a timer. And Brad's been incorporating a little timer on the bottom of the screen so you have an idea of where we're at. We're sticking true to the Table Scraps theme, and I hope you enjoy. That was terrible.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
How was your week?
My week was pretty good. Can't complain. A lot of editing, doing the DCB video, but pretty much done now. Just waiting on a few pictures and should be done maybe today.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that new hat you got on.
Yeah, got some new swag. We're just dress that now.
Yeah, why not?
So we're in the same hat.
Scrapyard. That's our new logo. Thanks to Brett Delecki at D's Sports Shop.
D's nuts. Sorry.
What else happened this week? Play some music again?
Played some music last night. It was a late night. I'm pretty tired right now. I'm a little spacey. Yeah, Celsius. You know, today's topic, we'll get to it, but it'll play a part.
All right.
How about you? How was your week?
I had a good week. I guess you can count last weekend since that was kind of like a vacation, but went golfing with some of my high school friends out in Arizona.
Yeah, you took some good pictures.
Never been to Arizona, and yeah, it was pretty much like a work trip. I took probably 1,500 pictures a day for the 3 days that we golfed.
You just can't help yourself.
Nope. They're all playing cards in the evening, and I had my laptop posted up, editing all the pictures, sent them all to them in a Google Drive at the end of the day. I think I delivered like 350 pictures by the end of the trip that were all like
350 deliverables on your vacation.
Yeah, like edited hard with masks and just, I went ham on it.
I mean, I've seen you do it before, but when you love what you do.
Yeah, I was telling them, I'd be doing this no matter what. Like, this is what I enjoy doing, because they were kind of feeling bad and like, oh, we're going to throw you some cash or something. Like, while we were gambling, like I'm sitting there editing, and the one guy, he had like a pile of money sitting next to me and was like pretending like I was betting and playing turns and like winning me money while I was
had a pool going for you.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a really good trip.
Yeah, I've learned not to question it at this point. I'm like, he's doing what he wants to do. It'd be like if when you came and took pictures of our engagement, or like, for the wedding that's coming up, it'd be like, he's probably going to take some pictures and he's probably going to edit them, but it's just, you do it pretty much everywhere you go.
Yeah.
But you love it, so I don't feel bad anymore.
Yeah. So that was last weekend, and this week has been pretty good. Got Sensation Nation episode 15 pretty much wrapped up. Went and saw Steve Mancini from Hell Tracks. Based on our last podcast, he kind of ghosted me after I bailed on that trip, but
busy man.
Terms are good. We
Yeah.
shot a little video together. Katie's putting together our next Scrapyard video. That's going to be talking all about Hell Tracks and our relationship with them, which also kind of ties into what we're talking about today.
Want to just go ahead and get started then on that note?
First, I think we should call out the fact that I only wrote one of these.
Here it is. Your single scrap. You bum.
Yeah, just kind of letting you roll with it. I didn't really have anything good to throw in there.
Sometimes the creative juices are just flowing, so no big deal. But you go ahead and pull first. I deserve that much.
There we go. Wow, I literally drew mine.
I just picked that up and set it down.
I guess this is what we're starting with. All right, Bobs. Tell me what your dream brand to work with would be.
Dream brand. This is the fuel to my fire. This is how I stay up till 2 every night and then get to work at 9.
All right, Celsius. They're in the boating world. I think they sponsor a boat, so I don't think that's too far away.
Foot in the door.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't know who the guy is that owns it or made that connection, but they're definitely in our world.
It's my favorite caffeine source at this point.
You're not alone. I would say all of our friend group drinks those now. Oh, it's hilarious. We went and talked to Steve, And he got turned on to those because we brought a couple when we went out to his ranch in Colorado. And we go up and look in his little mini fridge. Whole thing is just Celsius. He's like, I drink one a day. I love these things.
200 milligrams of caffeine straight to the dome.
Yeah. And like no sugar or anything in it. So
yeah, you don't feel too bad. It's not like a monster. I'm not going to ask yours because there's a lot of scraps in here that address things like that. Maybe we'll get to it at the end. All right. So this one is meant to be a little bit more, I don't want to say realistic because realistically this could happen, but future brand collaborations that you want to make happen. So let's call it in the near future.
Like next 5 years or something?
Yeah. Something that you want to really make happen, something that you've had on your mind perhaps.
Something outside of this industry would be pretty cool. Like maybe working with a sports team would be cool. You know, maybe something with a Detroit sports team. That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be sweet.
We do have some connections with some people that work with the Red Wings. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know what we do. So hopefully like something more long form based.
Yeah, we could like tell the story of a specific player on the team or something. That would be cool. Maybe even, I don't want to say do it for free, but to get it in like that. And that would just be something super interesting and cool to do, which is kind of part of collaboration, right? Like sometimes you don't even think about the money. It's more about the partnership.
Well, and our original content would be more interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
So it could serve a lot of benefits for us if we did something like that.
Let's put it on the roadmap. Let's make it one of our core goals for the next few years. Work with the Detroit sports team.
I mean, another one that I would like to do is something with fishing. We're in the boating industry. Fishing, I think, is the biggest draw, the most money involved. Like, it's just the biggest thing with boating. So we've got the Marina boys, Caleb, Brian, Jeff. They like to fish. They've got the Camus brand. I don't know where the collaboration would come. Maybe it's something more with Caleb's charter. Mm-hmm. But doing something like that, I think, is already kind of in our wheelhouse, and we could benefit pretty heavily from that.
For sure.
All right. Let's draw one of Bobby's 15 scraps. How to make sure a collab is mutually beneficial. Why don't you tell me about that? What do you think makes, the benefits equal on both sides of a partnership?
So I feel like the way that we're thinking about it right now is, at least how we're working now, is more of, it's a customer base. So we're doing work for people specifically. They're paying us for it. That's the mutual benefit. They get the content that they want. We make it. I think that if we're going to look at collaborations with other brands, it's got to be videos that we're producing together or videos that we're producing based on like whatever theme that they think fits their brand, but also fits our brand. So it's got to be some sort of like mutual ground that we land on where we can kind of tell two stories at once, who we are, who they are, and then do it in a way where we can both kind of use it to tell a story, to advertise our companies. That's the way that I see it playing out.
Yeah, maybe a slightly different way to look at it is like our collaboration with Speed on the Water, where we're collaborating on a video that doesn't talk about us or them, but we're talking about a topic that we want to cover. And we're both getting paid on that from sponsors that pay for the video. So we're benefiting that we're both getting paid for our work, and we're telling a story that we both want to tell. But it's a combined effort from both companies, right? So it's just a different way to look at it.
Yeah, kind of like producing a video on a subject together.
Yeah. And I think the more that we get into creating original content at Scrapyard, we'll be able to collaborate in the way that you mentioned, but we don't really have like a benefit to creating our own content, not monetarily, but maybe just like a little bit of exposure that we get. Right. It's just so small right now.
But that would be the point of collaborating with a brand and telling like their story and our story, is that exposure. So like it could be some product that we stand behind, some brand that we like, and we're telling their story, but through us as a vessel. Mm-hmm. And then it just, then people learn who we are and see who we are.
I like that.
This one's for you. Top 3 YouTubers you'd collaborate with. going away from brands as the conversation, but people.
Yeah, I think the number one has got to be Peter McKinnon, which is probably like a pretty standard answer for anybody in this industry. But I mean, that guy got me into this. I saw his YouTube videos back in like 2018, 2019, and was just hooked on the idea that you could create videos for a living. And his tutorials and whatnot kind of got me sparked in making videos and learning how to make videos and learning how to use a camera. So working with him in any capacity would be really cool. He's kind of into similar stuff where I know he's got a jet ski and I know he likes to do some off-roading stuff. So I could picture him going on like a Cat or some fast boat that we had access to. And that's something that he would never have been given access to. You know, it's such a unique thing that I could see a draw there to get him involved with something like that. And I've had the urge to reach out to him and a couple other Canadian-based YouTubers that are not far. They're like 2 to 4 hours away, just across the border, that I really enjoy watching their stuff. And I just haven't done it. So maybe we'll put that on the list too.
Yeah, I mean, what? Couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Right? What about the other two?
I mean, along those lines, if I could just like cast a net out and grab one of those guys that's over there in like the Hamilton area, I'd take any of them. I mean, I'm trying to think of Chris Howe is over there, Matty Hapoya.
That's it. You got 3.
Yeah, there's one other guy though that I'm thinking of. He's the guy that I showed you. He did those he always does like an elaborate intro.
Don't pass it to me to help you with this. This is why I wrote the question for you.
We'll just like put his video here.
Yeah, we'll I'll move my mouth and then you can just put his name in there like I said it. Oh, it's
Jesse Driftwood.
All right. Moving on.
All right.
Favorite music collaboration of all time.
So this is like 2 people, not us, that made a song together.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? I'm not big into the whole music.
I gotta go with, I think, Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Really? What's the song?
Still Dre.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just play the song.
Yeah, and
Why them? Because he's from Detroit, or?
Yeah. And the song is just an absolute banger.
Yeah.
Never gets old. Every time it comes on, still loving it.
Nice.
Yep.
Can't really think of anything, so I'm just...
That's all right. I wrote that one for myself, so...
Yeah, I'm glad you drew it. Caffeine collab?
Yeah, we already touched on that.
I think you spelled caffeine wrong.
I was gonna Google it, and then I was like, whatever.
All right, we already did that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Celsius, our favorite caffeine drink. Or Peter McKinnon's coffee brand.
What's that?
I don't remember it.
I don't think it's gonna work out.
I don't either. All right, how do you approach a potential collaboration? I could take that one. So I guess it depends on what you're trying to get out of it, right? Like if we're approaching one of these ones that's like our dream collaboration, we're obviously going to take less to do that. But if it was something that's mutually beneficial, we're both in the same playing field, like you're going to look at it differently. I'm going to just take the dream one, for example, and say it's like a Red Bull, you know. I'm just throwing that out there because they're like huge, right? Mm-hmm. If we did a brand collaboration with them, it would be, in my mind, like a longer form video on someone that they wanted to highlight. And, you know, we put Scrapyard production at the beginning of the video and we get our name out there and we get to create with them and get the access to whatever they have that I would imagine is pretty elaborate, pretty like action sport oriented. So you give up a lot in those types of situations, but I feel like the exposure that you would get back and the experience for our original content would just be through the roof.
So before we get further into the subject, because I want to make sure that I understand it clearly, like how would you define a collaboration? Like, is it something that you're not getting paid to do? Because when we talk about making a video for somebody or with somebody. Generally, they're paying us to do it. So say it's a Red Bull and they're bringing us on as a production company to make this video. Maybe they're paying us. I was thinking more of a collaboration as like two people working together, not necessarily benefiting off it. Like nobody's paying anybody, but it's exposure. But now that I'm saying that, I'm thinking of all the ads that I see with marketing collaborations, and it's just people that have a following throwing out a brand, and I know that brand is paying them from their marketing budget. So I guess there's just a bunch of different ways that you could go about it.
I mean, we could even create our own collaboration that we're not even a part of by bringing together, say, Sensation and Skater, who haven't really, I've never seen any content with them together, and make a Michigan powerboating video that has the two of them as the focal point of it. You know, like we're creating a collaboration, but we're a part of it that just has our name on it.
Right.
I don't think there's a box for collaboration. I think you can define it however you want. It's just really based on whatever the opportunity is and whatever they have to offer, what you have to offer. But like we said in the beginning, you had a different definition than I did, and I think we are in those two worlds right now, where we're either creating with somebody with no money involved, like our Mike House situation for next week. We're going down to Miami. We're going to make a video with them. They're helping us out by paying for our travel to get down there, and we're not charging them to make the video that will be published on their YouTube channel. So that's like an example that you came up with. And then like our Speed on the Water relationship, where we're taking sponsor dollars to collaborate on the idea and the execution of that idea, and then we're publishing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just multiple ways to go about it.
Yeah. Ooh, Tesla Helltrax collab.
Question mark.
Yeah, I just shared that the other day, and a lot of people reached out.
Really?
This wasn't even it's not my thing, right? Like this is Heavy D of Sparks Motorsports out there in Utah. He put the Helltrax on a Cybertruck, which is wild. Like I just can't even imagine what that's going to be like.
Do you think that we'll end up kind of like making our way into that at all? Like is there any interest from Steve to go grab some content with that? Because it's pretty insane.
I can imagine if we said something like, hey, let's go out there and like make some content with that, he would be down for it. I think he's flying out to Colorado next week, but we got some looming travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we want to tease that? I don't even know if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe we just leave it at that.
No, we'll talk about it if it does, and if it doesn't, we'll pretend it never happened.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll go. Wait, did we finish? Did we talk about what we want to talk about? Oh, Helltrax, yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Throw the video up, the picture.
Yeah, I don't know what to really say about it other than we make content for Helltrax, and the product is currently on a Cybertruck at Dave's shop in Utah, and I'm waiting to see this thing run. Yeah. So when it does run, we'll be clipping that and putting that on Helltrax social media for sure.
100%. All right, top 3 food brands that you'd collaborate with. And don't think of it like, the company that manufactures.
No. I immediately think of restaurants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not where my head went.
I mean, I don't really care if it's Kraft Heinz.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, nobody gives a shit about that. I mean, like, what's the food product that they make that you'd want to collaborate with? So basically, it's like favorite caffeine source. What do you like to eat? What's a brand that you stand behind? So for you, I would say Cliff Bar would be one.
Yeah.
Because it's you.
I eat it every day.
Yeah, that's your breakfast.
Yeah, but I don't really look at that like I'd want to do anything with them because
they're an outdoor company.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think of it that way.
Well, you've already sold yourself out of a brand collaboration.
Whoops.
Yeah, with this.
My mind just went straight to restaurants.
Yeah, okay. Well, give me some restaurants.
Yeah, it went to local restaurants. Okay. We're right here. I like supporting that.
Yeah.
I think of Cabana Blue. I think of the new distillery in
Tashmoo.
Yeah, in New Baltimore. And maybe
I don't know if whiskey's really food, but
Is it only whiskey there?
they have other alcohols.
But
I
no
think they have
food?
like vodka and gin. No, there's no food.
Oh, wow. We really took a left turn on that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I drink whiskey like it's breakfast too, but
You just count it as your dinner.
yeah, exactly. I save the calories for my dessert.
Yeah, I don't know. Those couple restaurants.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Yeah, Cliff Bar would be. So I never really thought of that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, my journal that I write in every day, really off topic from food, but
Yeah.
I've been doing that for 5 years. Like,
Yeah.
and I went from such a shift from working at GM to Sensation to now having this business. What a perfect situation for them to like use that as a marketing.
Yeah,
tool.
within a block of
and
this
I just
period
have
of time.
all the journals.
I mean,
Hey,
throw it up.
self-journal.
Yeah, throw it up, throw the brand up so people know what you're talking about. Give them some credibility or some credit. And then I think that's a great idea, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder, about the mutually beneficial type of a thing. Like, what are they really going to gain from us talking about that on our small little channel?
Yeah, but people love customer stories. It might not be on our channel, or it could be a collaborative post, but it would be more like they're promoting their customers. So maybe the draw for us is that you get exposure on their channels, but it's you saying, like, I've built this company, Scrapyard Media, from the ground up, using these journals as a heavily positive influence.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, what's Scrapyard Media? Or maybe not, but like that's still, I think part of collaboration is supporting brands that you believe in. So I think for you, that journal is 100% one of those.
I've definitely looked up people based on them being like an ambassador to a product.
Right.
Like skis, for example,
Right.
or a snowboard. Like you see that person on their website. I'm like, oh, they probably got some sweet videos of them. Like,
or
in
it
the
could be like
mountains.
somebody that's like, who are they to tell me that this is a good product? And then you go look at who they are and you're like, oh, shit, okay, this company is for real. Like they're producing these videos. This product helped them do that in the journal instance. They learn about us. They learn about the journal. I think it could work. Oh, wait, top 3 food brands.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
I would say Costco, anything Costco brands, like Kirkland Food. I would say Reese's, cereal or candy, doesn't matter. And I got bacon, Kraft like lunch meats.
Okay.
That's where my head went.
I just can't
I'm
picture
dreaming big.
making content on that.
Me neither, but honestly, some of the shit that they post is really stupid.
Yeah.
But like funny too. And like working for Kraft, I've seen what they draw to in marketing, and it could be the dumbest thing, like the dumbest commercial. Like there was a Super Bowl commercial about Mr. Peanut dying and coming back as Baby Nut, and then that was like a multi-year campaign. It was crazy.
That sounds hilarious.
They
though.
drove the Wienermobile off a cliff, and so my buddy Alex, he was involved in like the actual buying of all of that, and so he got to go see one of the shoots, and so I was pretty heavily invested in that campaign. So I think about dumb stuff like that. Like, okay, I like bacon. I could collaborate with Kraft, who has lunch meats and raw meats and things like that, and it could be as stupid as we wanted to make it, and it could be 30 seconds, but I'll probably get some free bacon out of it. All right,
Those are good. Those are good. I like that. All right. Top 3 clothing brand collabs. You want to go or you want me to go?
I can take it.
All right.
So I would do Vans because it's pretty much the only shoe I wear. And then my second one would be probably Crocs because it's the other shoe that I wear.
Wow, straight shoes.
Yeah, that's still the first thing I go. That's the only thing I wear consistently. And then again, Kirkland Signature.
Okay. That's pretty on point for you. Yeah.
Those are my brands.
All right, I'm going Carhartt,
Yeah.
number 1. Number 2 is Richardson hats because these are Richardsons. It's like the only hat that fits me good. You're too high. Got it. Okay, so for everyone listening on Spotify, I am sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about
We're
it.
terrible at that.
Don't worry about it.
So what did I say? Carhartt, Richardson.
Yeah.
And then I like to, not stick to the format here. I'm going with D's Sport Shop, the guys that made this. They make some really cool stuff, and they're involved with hockey a lot. Back to that theme. I think it'd be cool to like make them a brand video.
Nice.
And, maybe they throw us some merch, do some, stuff with us, and we give them that. That's a non-monetary transaction, right? That's a different kind of collab.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going those 3.
Okay, those are good. I'm going to add a 4th. I would like to do Columbia as well.
Really?
No. Hold on. We'll cut that out. Sorry, Columbia. LL Bean. That's what I meant to say.
How'd you get Columbia?
They're like the same. Like, okay, so I look at Columbia, LL Bean, and Patagonia is kind of the same, but Patagonia is like elite, but it's also like twice as expensive as LL Bean. And there's an LL Bean in Partridge that I've been going to, and I think their stuff looks just as cool, and it's more affordable. So
you can make a commercial that's like LL Bean versus Columbia, and then at the end they're just the same.
Yeah, like take a guy and like push him off a mountain and just have him roll down the side of the mountain wearing the gear, and then when he's dead either way, and they're like, look, it doesn't matter but the clothing's like still intact. I don't know. Maybe that's too dark for television.
Yeah, that would have to be a YouTube ad.
So going back to something we were talking about, how did your collaboration with Speed on the Water start?
That's a good one. They reached out when I was doing the Sensation stuff. Reached out and had an idea to do an In the Lead project. It wasn't named that at the time, but they wanted to go around and make videos of the industry notables. So they hit up me and Brevin and I think one other company and just kind of pitched the ideas to us. We gave them prices and they ended up going with us, which was Ryan and I at the time. And that was how it kicked off. It evolved into what it is today, which is some pretty elaborate 20-minute videos that we're doing. In the beginning, that first one with Grant, we went to his shop, we put a boat in the water, and that was it. Like, now we're trying to do all sorts of things. I mean, we shot an interview in a plane, went and shot skeet, and took 2 boats out. It's all in the same day. Like it's just gotten bigger in the production.
It's more elaborate storytelling, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Before it was learning how to tell a story. Now we're doing all the pre-production to make sure that we know what the story is, and then understanding, okay, what do we need to shoot to make sure we get that.
Yeah. All right, I get the last one.
I have no idea.
No,
I didn't time it at all.
Well, hopefully that camera's still rolling.
Yeah.
Most off-the-wall potential brand collab that comes to mind.
Me? Yeah.
I don't even know. Nothing comes to mind that we haven't already talked about.
What's a brand that we haven't talked? What's the first brand that comes to mind? Period.
Toyota. Make a 4Runner commercial. I might have to get my door panel fixed.
I mean, you could just be like, you can beat it to hell and it'll still run.
Yeah, barely though.
The AC might click, but
the thing's falling apart. It just keeps breaking, man. The door's dented in. The AC doesn't work. The heat is now like ticking.
Again, not a great case for a brand collaboration here.
But it's still running.
Yeah. I mean, if the car was like 50 years old, then that would be impressive.
Yeah, it's not 50 years old, but it does have over 100,000 miles.
That's true. You've gotten good use out of it.
Yeah. What about you? What comes to mind?
Well, it's not really random.
What about any of your music?
That's where my head started to go. So it's not really off the wall, but to do something with Ludwig, which is a drum company.
Oh, I was thinking the YouTube creator.
Ludwig? Is that a guy?
Yeah, he's like one of the biggest.
Oh, no. Well, it's not that. Unless he makes drums. I don't even have anything Ludwig, but it's my dream kit.
Okay.
It's something that I aspire to.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I want is expensive. But, yeah, so it doesn't really make sense for me. I can't really stand behind the brand other than it looks really nice, and I like the way it sounds, but
cool.
Float that one out there.
Well, we talked about a lot of brands, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just kind of
all over.
We're just plugging ourselves right now. Like, hey, hashtag this, hashtag this, hashtag this. Yeah. At.
Cliff Bar all the way to the Red Wings.
So we just got to make sure that we mention them in a social media post about this. And you never know. Float it out there.
Next week, we'll be doing a brand collab with How to Live. So just keep it rolling.
Yep. Well, we'll see how close we got to a half hour. For all I know, this ended
Abruptly.